I've been getting this question a lot lately from friends, family, students, people I meet at events, people who follow me online. So in this video, I thought it would be helpful to share what I think are the two most important things that everyone should know about investing and trading. No. 1. What is trading? And no. 2. How do I buy and sell things on the stock market? Let's get into it. The first part of this video is going to be, what is trading? Because I think most people have a pretty vague idea of what trading is. But once you get into it, there's all these new terms that you need to learn. So here's what I think you should know. Trading is simply buying something with the goal of making money over time. It doesn't necessarily mean trading stocks. You can trade forex, which means you're trading currencies. You can trade commodities, which means you're trading things like gold or oil. You can trade cryptocurrencies, NFTs, but today we're talking about stocks, because that's what I personally do. When you trade stocks, you're buying small pieces of ownership in companies. So when you buy a share of Apple stock, what you're really doing is buying one share, a very small piece of ownership in Apple, and then if Apple makes more money over time, hopefully your share of that pie grows as well. Now that's not always the case. Sometimes the value of the company goes down, and then your share of that smaller pie is worth less. There's two ways you can make money when trading stocks. The first way is through capital gains, which means you bought a stock for one price and then sold it for a higher price. That's the simplest way to do it. The second way you can make money is through dividends. So some companies pay out a portion of their profits to shareholders. When you hear successful traders talking about their returns, usually they're talking about capital gains plus dividends, right? So both ways you can make money. Now this next one is really important. Don't confuse trading with investing. When I talk about trading, I'm talking about buying and selling on a very short term, meaning within a few days or weeks or months. And investing is holding on to something for a long period of time, usually longer than a year. But again, this is just my personal definition. Some people trade long-term, and some people invest short-term. It really depends on your goals and your strategy. This is just how I think about the difference between trading and investing. So now you know what trading is. How do you actually go and buy things on the stock market? Well, the first thing you need is a broker. A broker is basically an app that lets you buy and sell things on the stock market. There are a lot of different options out there, and I'll leave a link below the one that I use. But any broker should let you do two things. One is place a market order, which means you're buying or selling a stock at the current market price. So if you want to buy Apple stock right now, you could click on Apple and type in how many shares you want to buy and click on Buy. And the other thing you need is the ability to place a limit order, which means you're telling the broker, hey, I want to buy this stock, but only at a certain price or lower. You're on is either. So if you wanted to buy Apple stock, but you're not willing to pay more than $1.140 per share, you can enter that as a limit order. And then the broker will try to buy your stock at that price or lower. Now that you have an account and you know how to place orders, the next step is to pick a strategy. A simple strategy is called dollar cost averaging, which means every single week or month you reinvesting the same amount of money into a particular stock. For example, let's say you have $100 every single week and you want to invest it all into Apple. With dollar cost averaging, you would take that $100 every single week and buy as much Apple as you can. One week you might buy 4 shares of Apple, and the next week you might buy 5 shares of Apple. It really depends on the price of the stock at that time. Now this is a very simple strategy and it's good for beginners, but you want to keep in mind there's no perfect strategy. All of them have pros and cons. And now that you have a strategy, the last thing to talk about is diversification. Diversification is basically a fancy way of saying don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you only buy Apple stock and Apple stock goes down, you're going to lose money. But if you buy a bunch of different stocks, then chances are some of them will go up while others go down. And then overall, your portfolio will be a little bit more stable. Now, there's a lot of ways to diversify. You can buy individual stocks like Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Google, or you can buy index funds, which are baskets that hold thousands of different stocks. My favorite index fund is the S&P 500, which includes the 500 largest companies in the US. Buying an index fund is a great way to start because you immediately diversified across thousands of stocks without having to pick individual ones yourself. And then if you want, you can also buy individual stocks on top of that. That's everything I know in about 6 minutes. Obviously, there's a lot more to trading and investing, but I think this should give you a pretty good foundation to start with. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to download a zero-cost trading app and deposit $100 into it. This is completely optional, by the way. But I want you to deposit $100 and then invest it into an index fund. Invest that $100, let it sit for 6 months, and then check in with me and tell me how much money you made. You can find me on social media. Again, this is totally optional. I'm not trying to trick you into downloading anything, but I think it would be fun to have a class of people who are all learning together. Okay, that's everything I wanted to share in this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single week about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and investing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care.